Hello, everybody. What's up? It is your girl Ghetto Tarot, and I am back with an energy check for Cancer. So, Cancer, I feel like I'm always saying the same thing to you guys. It's always, again, with these like weird people problems, you're having issues with people. You're having issues with your overall friends, family. You are just not understanding where you fit in. So, Cancer, first of all, happy birthday. I didn't mean to come in so hot like that, but happy birthday, bitch. So the issue that I'm getting here for you Cancers is that you guys don't know where you fit in everybody else's life, right? Everybody around you seems to have a role, right? Like your sister has a role, your brother has a role, mom, dad has a role, your besties has a role, right? But for Cancers, I'm getting the energy that you feel like you don't have a role, or you feel like your friends and your relationships in your life, you feel like unneeded in a sense. And that sucks. I'm still getting the energy that you guys are going through some kind of turmoil. So Cancer, that seems to be the energy around a lot of y'all right now, is that it feels like your family is tearing apart for some of you, for some of the collective. For the other group of Cancer, it feels like that your friends are beefing. There's something going on with y'all where things are ending. Things are shifting. Things are changing. A lot of things are coming to the surface, which is why a lot of beefs are sort of circling. But right now, what I'm getting, Cancer, is that you're standing in the middle of a crowd of people that are fighting. And you're trying to, for once in your life, not be emotional and try to add practicality to this situation. But you can't. And the reason why you can't is because you're too worried about where you stand in this beef, in this kind of like change and this shift and this like negative energy that's happening right now. So with this Chariot that's in reverse, it's basically saying, in your case, Cancer, you have a hard time fitting in. You feel like you have a hard time fitting in, right? Cancers usually don't have a hard time fitting in. They are quirky. You guys are silly, and charming. So that gives you kind of you guys are naturally kind of inviting. But in this situation that you're in, I feel like lately you guys just have been feeling like you don't know where you're fitting in. And then also for the other group, it feels like you're sitting there worrying about your other friends. You're sitting here worrying about a situation, all while ignoring the people that are letting you fit in. So you guys are kind of like going through this weird kind of like thing in your life. You know, y'all be having, fucking water signs, y'all be having these complex issues with people. But you are so concerned about this other group that you guys, or whatever's going on, whatever the fuck is going on with y'all weird asses, you're ignoring the people that actually do care about you in a sense. Let's just, rip the Band-Aid off. You guys are kind of like ignoring the people that do care about you and the people that do understand you, because you're so focused on another situation that's happening. And that's what's messing you guys up. The truth is, Cancer, is this whole thing right here is, listen, you know that there's a shift happening for Cancers. There's a shift happening for everybody, for the collective. But you understand, deep down, because you're intuitive, that this is happening for a reason. You know that everything is breaking apart. Everybody's separating. Everybody's going their own way. You understand that this is happening for a reason. And I feel like a lot of you're fear-based. You're very fear-based. You're moving off of fear. You're fearful that everybody around you is going to move on from their lives, or For some of the collective Cancer, it does feel like that y'all are scared that your friend group is going to move on without you. You have to be brave in this situation, right? You have to move on. You have to move on from this group of people. You guys are this group of people that you're worried about. This could be your family, your friends. Again, this seems like the whole crew. These are very low vibrational people. You are surrounded by low vibrational people, and this is not going to work. Again, with this Chariot, this seems to be the most important card right now because you're supposed to be, 12:12 on the clock, y'all. 12:12 on the clock. This resonates with somebody. Let me know if this resonates with you, but you're supposed to be at a point in your life. You're supposed to be in this new, you're supposed to be kind of like in this metamorphosis period, right? You were supposed to turn into a butterfly, right? Because we've had this discussion before, girl. Cancer, we've had this discussion before in a lot of readings. If you look back, we've talked about this before where you were having issues with people and you kept holding on to your friends. You kept holding on to this group of people. You're supposed to be a butterfly at this point. You were supposed to be going through this metamorphosis period in your life, and it's kind of stalling. You are stalling the necessary changes that are supposed to happen in your life, and then you're sitting there complaining and asking God why. And I'm not going too hard on you guys because I feel like the energy that I'm getting is a lot of you guys this is a deadly fear. You guys have a deadly fear of being alone. You guys have a deadly fear of not being chosen. You have a deadly fear of being left behind. I think I mentioned this before. I feel like for some of you, I'm getting that this is a childhood trauma. I'm specifically getting that maybe some of y'all parents divorced. And maybe the other parent did not come to visit you as often. Maybe you guys were abandoned by a parent. Your family was split up at a young age. There's a lot of trauma going on. There's a lot of trauma going around for Cancer in this situation. Okay. That's really making it hard for y'all to loosen y'all grip on this situation. You guys have a bigger purpose. You guys have a bigger calling that requires you to walk this journey by yourself. And that's hard, right? Nobody wants to be alone. There's really no problem in being alone. But Cancers, y'all really do not want to be alone. And I understand that. But like I said, you have a bigger calling, a creative calling, a calling that requires you to be bigger than what you are right now. Okay? You just have to be brave. Girl, you got to stand the fuck up and be brave, okay? I was just watching Law and Order, Organized Crime, and this quote really changed the game for me, and I think that it will really change the game for you, right? So basically she said, you have to find a new park, right? You have to play a new game, right? And that's what you guys have to do, okay? You have to find a new park. You have to play a new game. You have to move on. And you have to let shit, fly, okay? You have to be brave, all right? Find a new park, play a new game, be brave, and move the fuck on, all right? Y'all got this. Love ya.